Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you more about the animation timeline and a couple of settings that will help you animate your camera. And at the very end, I'll show you how to play Blast. So let's get into it. Last time, or in the last video, I showed you guys if you select your camera, you can create these keyframes by clicking on the S key. Okay? Now, here's a couple other things that you can do. So let's say you accidentally made a keyframe. I'll zoom in a little bit. Let's say you accidentally made a keyframe. To get rid of it, you can right click on the frame and then it'll give you different options. You can delete it, or let's say you made it too early. You can hold down Shift, left mouse click, middle mouse click, and drag. You can move the frame. You can even hold down Shift, left mouse click, and drag to select multiple frames and then scale them down. Though I don't recommend scaling because sometimes the frames will be on like 1.5 or 100.8, and that is not very fun to adjust. So like this one, let's see. Yeah, it's like 0.22 or 21. It's like crazy. So I don't recommend scaling. Let me see. Or even let's see this. At the beginning, let's say I want my room to loop. So I want it to go back to this starting position. I can right click the frame, I can copy it, I can go to the very end, and I can paste it by right clicking on paste. So then I get a looping animation. Just like that. So that's the main thing about the timeline. Once you're happy with your animation, I'd recommend in your render cam to go up here. There's a little lock button. So now I can't move my camera. I don't know if you can hear my mouse, but I'm zooming in and out. I can zoom in and out here, but not over here. Because I have now locked my camera in, I'm happy with the animation. I don't have to do anything else. One more fun fact that I learned that I forgot to mention to you guys is, now when the camera is moving in one side, you want to probably see both cameras move, right? This is just so it's easier to edit. So go to Settings, right over here, the running man with the gear. Go to Time Slider, and then you want to go to Playback and go to Updated View. Make sure you turn that on, all. Looping Continuous. So active, let me show you what active is. Active will only play the side that you're on. So if you're in this perspective window, it will only play that side. See how the camera is moving over here? Versus what if I click on my render cam? But now I don't see the camera move, so it's a little hard for me to like figure out how I'm going to animate next, right? So that is why I want all on. So little running man with the gear, time slider, playback, update view, all, looping continuous. So now whatever one I'm playing, well, I can see the camera motion on both, which I think is pretty darn useful. Pretty darn useful. Let me look at my notes. Let's also talk about render settings. So in this project, we're not rendering, but play blasting. I want you guys to play blast a HD file. So to make sure that up here says 1920 by 1080 HD file, we want to go to the render settings. Little action button right here with the gear. Click on that. It's right up here. Display render settings. You want to scroll down until you find image size. Make sure the preset is 1080. And then renderable cameras, let's move it to render cam. We don't have to worry about render yet, but that is good to know. We can adjust other settings over here later. So yeah. Make sure that is set to 1080 HD. 1080 HD. Okay, the final part is play blasting. So when you play blast, let's adjust our scene so it's a little more ready. First, you want to turn off that resolution gate. So in your render cam view, once your full animation is done and it loops, see how it goes back to the first scene. You want to go to Show, Play Blast Display, and then Viewport. Let's see. Turn off the grid. Everything else can be turned on for now. Not going to get too picky. Just make sure that grid is turned off. You can also turn it off right here. I don't want that grid. I just want to see your scene and all your beautiful details. Next up, turn off this resolution gate. You click on this rectangle with a blue dot. So now it just looks like this. And now to play blast, you go to the timeline down here, right click, don't click on play blast, click on the box next to it so we can see the settings. You want to have these exact settings. So view on, show ornaments off, format, I do this one, AVF, encoding H.264, display size, render settings, which we just adjusted, scaling 0.5 is fine, frame padding 4 is fine, excuse me, and you can have that checked on. Play blast, should play blast your scene. I have mine looping back in the front. Sweet. So it's always good before you export it to wherever you need it to go to, is to play it to make sure that it's fully done and looks good. I want to make it ×2 speed real quick, just so I can check quickly for the sake of this demo. It's my kitty cat. So by the end of your project, it should look something like this. You're going around showing off all the details you made, showing off your room, and then you put the camera right back where it was in the beginning, and it loops. Okay, looks good. I'm within 20 seconds to 1 minute. You go up here where it says this weird title, click on this drop-down menu. Destination where? Let's click on that. Let's go to our desktop. And then name, we can name this L9 camera. Desktop, click on that return key to save. You can exit out of it. I'm gonna do this little drop down menu. Ah, there it is, look at that. Perfect. And this is what you turn in onto the learning platform. So yeah, if you need any help, have any questions or concerns, let me know. Don't forget to save, so that Command S. And the last thing is on the cheat sheet I gave you guys, it should have a whole cheat sheet. The last page I gave you guys is all about animation shortcuts if you forgot any of the ones I just said. So be sure to check that. Pretty useful stuff there. So yeah, happy animating.